Yes, back, take a nap, and then I get up. And I answered the questions, man. So now we're gonna go through them at the first. I start off from the top and go straight down to the bottom. 1 to 10, right? So exam. Exams are placed before the documents to prime the brain for the upcoming events. Should not skip this part. Now, what we go and do in this session here is the exam on professional awareness, which is right here. There's these 10 questions. And the main things that should be taken away from this is to gain a self-realization on how much you know about professional trading awareness. Here, another trader perspective on the topic, and hopefully become a better trader, right? It's like the all and end goal, right? But if you think about it logically, using these things, it should become a better trader once you apply them. So, yeah, straightforward. Alright, so the intro, before jumping to the charts, there are some things that should be known when trading. This manual was prepared to gain insight to these ideas. I say here we start with the questions. Question number 1, identify the fundamentals requirements to become a professional trader. And that will be, let's see, why I for that was alright, the fundamental requirements to become a professional trader are precise and accurate entries and exits via the use of proper risk management. So that'll be my answer for that, right? If you have good entries at the end of the day, if you're having good entries and exits, no matter what technique you're using, and you're using proper risk management so that you can withstand your losses and benefit off your gains, then you're winning. Is a professional at the end of the day, because that will be a positive P&L with that concept. Despite all the different factors, all the different methods I've used, that will be basically what I think about them too. Yeah. So number 2, identify the difference between professional trading and gambling. Look for that one. Alright, so for this one, I had that difference between professional trading and gambling is that professional trading does have a positive expectancy over a series of trades over a period of time. So the longer you stretch out the time for professional trading, you end up with a better profit P&L. Versus gambling, the concept of gambling is you try and get in and out kind of quick and possible. So it's more like an entertainment. You don't really know what you're doing. And mathematically, the odds out of your favor, but you're just playing for playing sake, you know. Based on like if you have to take a sample size in gambling, sample size in trading, you should end up with a better overall profit. However, it's the professional gamblers and them too that will fall like next level. But that is just like the general level for that. I'm not touch right now, right? I guess you might consider it professional trading might fall under the category of professional gambling to some extent. Yeah, why not? I mean perspective. I watch it, right? So just saying what I actually write down. The difference between professional trading and gambling is professional trading produces an expectancy of a long-term positive rise in equity to curve based on a positive expectancy out of a sample size, opposed to gambling where the expectancy is to a higher degree of losing based on probabilities. Alright, so number 3, give one example, discuss three characters of a professional trader versus 3 of an unprofessional trader. Boy oh boy, we could gather so far this, right? So the first one I have is risking calculated amount of capital on any given trade with sound reasoning and logic. Which ones are professional and unprofessional? I prefer professional for this one, right? And vice versa, the unprofessional is risking an unsustainable amount of capital on any given trade without some reasoning and logic. Because I do know people who just risk the whole account, but really the whole account is not the whole account. They have different accounts, so technically they're risking the whole account. And also they have a high win rate, so there are different factors to consider when you're risking your whole account. But at the end of the day, if it's a professional, you understand the amount of capital that you're risking on any given trade and using some good reasoning logic where you say, yeah, it does make sense to do this, and you'll end up benefiting overall. Only and so next one for the professional only enters the market an understand when an understand of the entry and exit criteria. Right? So the professional trader only enters when they understand where the entry and where the exit going to be. They don't just jumping for jumping sake. They don't know when they're going to enter, when they're going to come out, where the stop losses, where the target is. Even if they don't actually put it in, they'll have an idea of where they're putting it. So when I say put it in, I mean put in your stop loss in terms of at what value, what price you say, nah, this trade not working out for me. I done, I'll check something else, I'll look for a different trade. Or you say, yeah, this trade working out for me, I will take a little bit of profits out of the market to realize it and have it in, this disposable income that we have. Bring it back to my main capital account, right? Now, for the unprofessional, enter a trade without defining the target or stop loss. Unprofessional person, I mean, like at the start, I can remember, even though sometimes now, we still sometimes do this, we can cut that right out because saying it here that unprofessional, right? Then you just enter it because you feel like oh yeah, this thing happening now. Let me jump in, but at the same time, you don't know where your stop losses, you don't know where your target is. At least some kind of idea with some reasoning and logic to reach these points. If you don't know what you're doing inside of you're playing games, which come to what you're gambling, then you know what will happen because the probabilities could be shifting out of your favor with these less strategy that you're using in the moment. So third one is a professional trader withdraws profits from the market. Don't worry, eventually you'll get it right. If you never do it before, it'll come. And when it comes, it's be nice. Right? So, for the unprofessional, don't withdraw profits from the market. You're just putting in again. So, at the end, right, if you're putting in again, then you're doing something wrong. And that is just what it is, right? So, the whole thing about it is not the worst thing to do something wrong. The worst thing to keep on doing something wrong. So if you tweak, you could used to be doing something wrong and that'll be in the past. Now in the present, you could start to do something right, which is to start to withdraw your profits from the market. How you're going to do that is basically that is like Is our process. Now we want to stick to the questions, but also slight track, right? Because I mean, like the one that goes to give the thoughts is our process to reach withdrawing the profits on the market. Yeah, I'll go through the first step, which will be having the other characteristics of a professional trader, which will be calculating your risk using some logic, knowing when to enter and exit the market, etc. And that is the closer down to the later stages is withdrawing. Now, the withdrawing part is probably one of the most appealing parts to say, yes, I'm doing it. But it have much more steps where you could say, yes, I'm doing it. And when you reach the withdrawal part yet, when you reach, yes, I do this, yes, I do this, yes, I do this, yes, I do this, you're going to be a boom. What else to do? Draw. And that is what we call a process at the end of the day, right? Or a strategy. So this is all overall included in the strategy. Uh, no, it's only three I needed. I have four. I mean, if it was a hardcore exam and just put three, I mean, at the same time, it's always good to put more because they want to be a little bit extra. But since it's not like a hardcore boom bang exam, I must say read it, right? 'Cause I know them examiners, once they read three, they just look off and forget about that extra one. I mean, it is what it is. That's how it is going to, right? They read the first three and they go on because they didn't really have the time. You know, they ain't getting paid for that fourth one. You get mark on the first three. They try not to tricks, right? So the fourth one, a professional trader analyze the trades previously taken, reflect and improve if necessary. Basically, journaling. A unprofessional trader repetitively trades without any reflection, trades off impulse or planning. So just jumping in, jumping in, jumping in, jumping in, jumping in, jumping in. You ain't know if you're losing, if you're winning, what going on, where you could tweak and make better. None of that. Just going, 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 going. Yeah, that is the unprofessional trader. If you reach this part in the video and you not see any gains, and what I would say is at least you're on the way to start to see gains because you're learning stuff right there. Is now you went to the part at charts. I hear doing hand movements and over hands down below. You know, I wouldn't just say it up in the sky, but hey, it is what it is, right? Hey, right? I wasn't even watching the camera, my word. But yeah, if you reach this part in the game, according to that game, it's a video, it's all the same, right? If you reach this part here, then you're on the way to scaling upwards now. Because we could have been on the charts one time, but the charts is not the only part of it. It have things that you need to know where you go and just say chart, chart, chart. Because some people wouldn't even use the charts. The chart is just a tool. Right, so let me go on to our next one. Number 4. Describe, let's see, let's go. Right. Alright, cool. So number 4, describe cryptocurrency, foreign exchange, and stock while discussing the pros and cons it possesses for a trader. So yeah, there's a very long one. Just break down cryptocurrency is a digital currency. It's digital currencies overall. Foreign exchange is the traditional currencies, and stocks is the company share values. That is the first level entry, right? This the second phase so that when you're extending it is for a trader, the pros of these they have buyers and so Right, so the first pro is because the items, the assets, items, whichever you want to call them, have multiple buyers and sellers, it allows for price fluctuation, and that is where we can now come and capitalize on the movement in the price. Another pro is because it has so many different markets, the assets among allowing traders to be able to take trades. I buy they were right, but at the same time I reasons, right? What it is that because it has so much of different markets, you have the ability to easily miss a trade, and within the next 5 minutes or you're still capitalizing on a different trade in a different market. Or in the case where stock market might be closed, cryptocurrency could be open. So it have plenty of flexibility in seeing your technique playing out, your strategy playing out on different markets where you have, defined to force to a certain time frame to trade. You can trade basically anytime providing a pattern happening, right? And multiple times. Now the cons of this, in abundance, because there is so much different charts, it's much easier to get exhausted. If you watch 1,000 charts and chart up 1,000 ideas, it's much more likely to get exhausted. Like, just think about it. Think about doing whatever technique you're doing right now, whether it's working or not. Assume it's working. Do it 1,000 times on 1,000 charts. You're going to get blown out if you do that in a day, right? Like, that is how it is good, right? So you have to be careful of that. That is a con. And also, prices do not move exactly on one chart as it might was on another. So you might be saying, all right, let me say the pound versus the US going down, and you watch the gold and US, and you say, all right, if the pound versus US going down, then gold should be going down. That not guaranteed to happen. It's different charts. So if you're using comparison of charts to determine what to do, you could consider that a con, right? Your bias. And watching so much different charts, your bias could be skewed. Now, number 6, discuss why new traders often become liquidated in the early stages of becoming a professional. Let's think back to when you was at the start. If it was at the start, if this is your start and you never put on a trade before, then hey, you get you, right? Because it's always good to listen. You come to the right place and it's the right section before you just jump out to the charts. That is the wrong section to start on if you're doing same thing. Like if let me say it's doing anything. Let me see I feel. Let me say it was a dentist and you walk straight into the dentist office and you say, alright, I wanna be a dentist, right? A dentist now. And you walk up and you take out the scalpel to take out the person's teeth. Never do this before. You just go inside and you cut. You cut to cut out the teeth. They had the money in hand to pay you. You say, alright, yeah, doc, I will get his teeth out. Dentist, I want to get his teeth out. Please, take it out. And you ain't scalpel. You never do it before. You just start dig, and cut. And you go, more than like, you might get all these teeth on it, but more than like, you go mess up that person out. And you wouldn't even know to do you probably don't even need to take all the teeth to begin with, right? So all these things is why you need to come to this section first versus just jumping chats, right? Now that I get back to it, discuss why new traders often become liquidated in the early stages. That is a vague reference, but what's trading now is new traders often become liquidated in early stages due to the lack of knowledge, right? When you boil it down, most of the times, like probably 99% of the times, I was calling numbers like I was saying 99% of traders fail is actually because I lack of knowledge, right? Using common sense and not just common sense, because sometimes you have to use that little extra critical, what we call critical thinking to determine certain aspects of trading. And once you can boost them aspects, then hey, we good to the right. Let me see, this can expand to over leverage, causing unnecessary fees, things that you should know. If you have $10,000, why you using 1,000 and borrowing the other 9, right? Which is using a 10x. You could use that 1x. If that you only trade, you know you only want to take one trade. Use that 1x and use the 10,000 and you end up with the same risk on the trade. Okay? So the other one is setting stop loss beyond margin limit, revenge trading, due to taking trades personal, not actually having a profitable strategy. All these are common mistakes from the beginners. I'll give you a little explanation on the stop loss and the margin. From what we call the margin is like when you're allowed to take loans in trading, right? So you take a loan from the bank and you say, right, well, if the price go, if you say you start off at 100 and you expect the price to go up to 200, the price go below 50, then I'll take back all money and I'll cut my losses straight. But the bank only allowing you to go to 75. So you want to come out of 50 and the bank say nothing below 75. But the thing is about margin is that them just take a security fee to maintain the slippage. So by the time the difference between your stop loss and your margin, you actually pay way more if they choose to table the margin. That's lick you up, right? That is some serious new mistake, right? Don't play with the people and their money. Always get your stop loss above your margin level. Right? And if you can't make it, don't take the trade. Revenge trading. Don't take the trade, reduce your position size. Revenge trading. Due to taking trades personal, right? There's a common one too. You take a trade, but you're putting so much work into the trade, and you say, yes, this is the trade, this trade going to work out. What? Boom, bang, bang, trade and work out. You vex, you want to go back and take our next one because you thought that one will work out and you should have do it. Or it goes the other way. You set up all your plans, you wait and you say, this trade go and work out. And you wait and you walk and come back and the trade work out. But you wasn't in the trade, so now you vex again and you say, nah, I go do the opposite. You go have to go back down so and boom, it didn't work out and you want to go and go and go and go. And the more you lose your money, the more you want to get it back, and it's a whole spiral of nonsense, right? There's how the people and does lose their money from the traders and non-traders, right? The trading, you wouldn't be doing this if you're a professional. If you're a noob, you're going to get a cup. That's how the game does go. The professionals say they lose money at the end of the day, right? And not just no money, but that's a whole different topic. Then we go on to number 7. Uh, I ain't answer that yet, but it have a reason, a need for professional traders at the end of the day, right? Is actually simplest terms is providing service, is balancing the market, right? Identify the minimum number of persons required to invalidate a trade given reasons why. Now, traditionally, I would go with the answer 1, then think about it, and it's actually 0 people, right? The minimum number of persons to evaluate a trade is 0. A trader can incorrectly analyze the market at any given time, right? So that is it. They don't even need nobody out there for your trade to be wrong. All that source and thing you set up, you can make a mistake and forget out one part of your strategy and the whole trade wrong. Where you're watching a whole different perspective, different time frame, whatever it be, and you're wrong. The analysis that you actually make was incorrect, and thus your trade going wrong. Nobody knows. Now the second most people you need, if it's 0, then obviously, I don't want to say obviously, right? But it could go to 1 person, right? So, because it's not everything obvious. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that the second one is, which is just as dangerous, is only 1 person. Decisions needed at any time to change the direction of the market. This can be seen in instances where Jerome Powell speaks about the market as one example. It's an extreme example, relatively extreme, because the extremity coming, when he going and speak. That's where he was getting news from and the red folders with the drum point, right? Maybe it might be somebody else now, but that is basically news. What I'm talking about here in this example here. Somebody come up and pull over the and say, hey, interest rates going up, market reacted immediately. If you didn't listen to the news, which has happened to different news going on all the time, if you didn't hear that news and you set up your trade, market could go in 100% the wrong different direction, reverse direction that where it was going based on the news. And it could go 100% or 200% in the same direction based on news, right? So that's just one person coming up and say something. And it also have the other factors where some people just rich. So despite if you see market going down, for a rich enough person come in and say, hey, I was some others. And you say, alright, well, I go in and try and gain from the market going down. Rich person say, hey, time to let me get my portion. Market going up and you was wrong. That's just how it does go. You need to be aware of that and don't take it personal, right? That is why that is the minimum amount of people to invite that trade. And so at the end of the day is zero. Always remember you can make mistakes. Then secondly, after you think you execute as best as you could, always remember it's just one person to have a decision and all your analysis and reasoning could be wrong as well. Because you don't have all the information you will at the end of the day. Right, number 8. State 4 ways to gain experience as a professional trader. 4 ways. Number 1, backtesting. It have a couple of them, right? So I'm just gonna use 4. Backtesting. Number 2, forward testing. Number 3, online videos for tutorials. Number 4, online live trading videos. Alright, so you're looking for experience. One, you could go and open up some charts and check the history and see what will happen. Probably one of the fastest ways to get a kind of idea. The second way is forward testing, where you're watching the real-time markets and determining whether or not it's actually working out. This one does actually get a more feel at the grasp at time because trading is a kind of time period based effect, right? So you have to take that into consideration. The third one is online tutorials. People are always out here teaching. Why not learn from them, right? And the fourth one is live trading videos where you're getting the real-time aspect of it so that you can also gain a feel for time while seeing how somebody does operate in the actual field, right? Number 9. What are the names of 5 major financial markets and their opening hours? I actually have 4: London, New York, Asian, and Hong Kong. Cannot remember any more than that right now. I could probably make a educated guess and call a country, but probably call like Singapore or something. But I don't know the more than 4. I don't know the hours of which ones will actually operate on, right? So that is something for me to consider. Number 10. List 5 tools a professional trader uses and how they are applied. 5 tools are: 1, journaling, and it has applied journaling by documentation of historic trades for post analysis, right? So after the trades go through, you can analyze what happened before and then you can improve and take out which ones was bad, keeping which ones was good and expand, right? Trading platform. Example, MetaTrader and TradingView provide ability to draw draw lines, boxes, and make notes easily, right? That is the main aspect of that. Strategy to determine entry, exit, and wager size per trade. Almost done. Oh, alright. Alright, cool. Strategy to determine the entry, exit, and wager size per trade. So this is number 3, right? Determine the entry, exit, and wager size per trade. Right. But there's a strategy, right? And what is this? How is that tool? How can you consider a strategy a tool? Because at the end of it, like if you think about it, it's a multiple strategies, right? So that I call a strategy a tool that you using. Sample sizing. This is also if you have a strategy, let me say every candle, every next candle agree you're buying, right? The reason for the sample sizing now will be that we say next 4 candles I buy, then we get a profit. You might say the strategy not working, but with the sample size, you will be able to say, alright, I'm going to take 30 trades and then I'll be able to conclude if it working or not. This is important to get that quantity of that overall bigger gap, like an overall bigger picture than just a small view. And I've categorized it into a tool because often it is not used in this aspect. You have a strategy and you might use it twice and say, that's not good. And then you want to throw the strategy to the side and go on for the next strategy. Right? So you throw 1, 2, 3 side and go on for the next two. And if you was using all your different tools together, you'll already be making some cheese, right? Talking about cheese, the last tool out of the 5 is money. Capital. Right? At the end of the day, money is capital used for the purchase of assets which determine the amount of potential gain or loss that can occur at any given time. So in this case, money is a tool because that is where you're going to use to place your trades at the end of the day, right? The more money you have is the bigger position size you can have, the bigger wager you can have, the more profits you can benefit, also the more losses that you can incur. If you only have $1, you're not going to lose $2 at the end of the day. If you have, let's say you have $100,000 and you're taking dollar trades, at each time your account not going to blow anytime soon if that is right, right? So if somebody have $1,000,000 account, taking $1,000 trades is not really a big deal if they go on a 20 losing streak. But if you have $1,000 and you're taking $100 trades, it's a big deal if you're going on a losing streak because if you're on a losing streak and losing streak on 6, it's out of 1,000, then you have 400. And when you're doing to take each other purchase you take an average or what, you understand? So it kind of forcing your position size to decrease based on the amount of capital you have, right? And that would conclude number 10, which is the exam for professional awareness. This really, I'm thinking I'm gonna actually, I mean, like right now, my thoughts might be to one bias, but that is like based on information that I just thinking about on free and stuff so far. But when I go through this whole learning steps, because I'll take some research on these questions to see if my answer might change. But that is generally what you're not out for right now. Mm. Yeah, and that was cool. So if you make it so far this to the end of the video, much respect. What I would say is if you have a different opinion, you can leave a comment down below. I will read them, especially right now, Why not? I want to see what is a different perspective on or somebody to sit towards these questions, and the next video of this category would be journaling. These are the questions that are coming up. You could probably answer them beforehand this time, because I will answer them beforehand as well, so it will just be like me just sitting here writing notes. I mean, might be, but one of the idea I'll answer them before, and then after I'll come back on and just share my train of thoughts on these questions here for this exam here. Eventually, going through the whole process, we end up be coming back around to grade them, so it's good to keep them in one spot where you can access them back to close the loop of the whole mission. When you unlock this mission here, will really be a game changer. Alright, we out.